At the bleakest edge of the world, crammed into a car that was much too small for 5 people, Gwen watched as Gloam Island loomed closer and closer. If she had been told a few months ago that this place would one day be her home, she would have laughed, then cried. Then she probably would have punched a wall.
"I'm squashed," said Hazel.
"I'm hungry," said Hester. Hazel and Hester Clayton Fenn were twins, 6 years old and identical to the poor, dark-haired and freckled with matching button noses. They writhed against their seat belts. Gwen was sitting in the passenger seat with her suitcase in the footwell. She was both squashed and hungry, but she was 13, which meant she was old enough to keep her complaints to herself. She returned her attention to her notebook, where she was writing her latest story. This one was going to be a bestseller, and she couldn't afford to get distracted.
"How much longer?"
muttered Roger. Roger was 10. His full name was Roger Clayton Fenn Jr., after their grandfather, Roger Sr., although he had died soon after the twins were born, so there wasn't much need for the distinction now. With his elbows wedged between the twins' car seats, Roger Jr. glowered through his curly fringe. "Nearly there, kids," said Henry, who was driving. It was the 5th time he'd said it in the last hour. "Nearly there now." The sea was beginning to tickle the edges of the causeway as Henry's absurd little car raced towards land. By night, the road would be underwater, erasing the only way on or off the island. Not that it mattered. Gloam didn't get much traffic. One visitor in late autumn was uncommon. A family was a phenomenon. Hazel peered out of the window.
"The sea's almost touching the road," she said.
"Don't be silly," said Henry with a nervous glance at the lapping water. "We've got plenty of time." But he sped up all the same. Henry became much cheerier when they left the causeway behind for the tiny village of Gloaming. Gwen was privately relieved that his poor time management hadn't led to their drowning. The children's surname, Clayton Fenn, was a combination of their father's and their mother's names. Henry Oakworth was neither a Clayton nor a Fenn. The children had met him over an awkward breakfast just 2 years ago. Gwen had thought he looked quite silly in his shabby houndstooth jumper and Oxford shoes, but she said her hellos and her nice to meet yous and wondered privately how quickly her mum would get tired of the boring old accountant from boring old Norfolk.